Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this is gonna kind of be like a nail tech one-on-one, I guess you can say. I'm pretty much just gonna be giving y'all a rundown of everything you will need to become a nail tech if that's what you've been thinking about doing. So yeah, before we get started, make sure that you click that subscribe button and turn on your post notifications so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. Okay, now let's just go ahead and get into it because I don't want to make this video super long and boring. So, first thing that you will need in order to start doing nails is acrylic. That's obviously one of the main things, because how are you gonna do acrylic nails without acrylic? But yeah, that's one of the main things that you need. For beginners, I would recommend using less expensive products, because I'm telling y'all, when you first start doing nails, you're not gonna be a beast. I'm telling y'all that now. Like, it's gonna look trash. You're gonna get discouraged a lot during your nail journey if you continue on with it. But yeah, I recommend not getting expensive products only because you don't want to waste your money. Once you get the hang of it and kind of get the gist and the basics of how to apply acrylic, then I'd recommend spending more money on products. But for you to just be starting, brands that I would recommend are, for number one, Mia Secret. They are really, really good for beginners. I will also recommend iGel Beauty, which they are still, I think, currently having a 60% off sale off of their entire website. They have really good acrylics. Me personally, I like them. I have like 30 colors from them, and I think they're really nice. Also, like I said, they're really affordable, so you don't have to worry about spending too much money. So yeah, other brands that I would recommend that are a little less expensive or not that expensive is Glam and Glitz for like colored acrylics and stuff. When I first started doing nails for my colored acrylics, that's the main brand that I bought. I bought Glam and Glitz more than anything because they had really pretty colors, and they weren't that expensive. And then for like my basic colors, like my nudes and my clear and white, so on and so forth, I bought Mia Secret. Now you can find Mia Secret online on Amazon. You can also find them on online nail supply stores. They're really affordable, and like I said, beginner friendly. So yeah, the next thing that you will need in order to do nails is an acrylic brush. Now, once again, this is something that you don't have to splurge like $40 on if you're just starting, because you don't want to spend so much money on a brush and then end up ruining it, because that will happen a lot. You have to learn how to work with acrylic in order to make your brush like last, because if you don't know what you're doing when you're applying acrylic, you can fuck up a brush. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, you can ruin a brush. So a brand that I would recommend is Sophia DeVille, which you can purchase on eBay. I will link them down below so y'all can check them out. They range anywhere from probably about $15 to 20 something dollars. I'm gonna say in between the range of $15 and $25 for a brush. The recommended size I would give for a beginner is like a size 10, because you don't want the brush to be too small, and then you also don't want it to be too big, because you have to learn how to work with the acrylic first before you can get a bigger brush. Like, before you can move up with the brush sizes, you have to actually learn how to work with the acrylic. So for a beginner, I would recommend a size 10 acrylic brush. The brand that I would recommend, which is kind of like in between in price, and it's not super duper expensive, but it's also not super cheap, is Panda brushes. That is the very first like brush that I got like comfortable with using acrylic with. The first brush that I bought, didn't even know what I was doing. This was my very first time picking up an acrylic brush, and I ruined it because I just did not take the proper steps of like breaking it in or whatever. So I ruined that brush, and then I ended up getting a Panda brush. And so far, even until now, which I'm almost a year in to doing nails, I still love Panda brushes, and they're pretty decent in price. And I actually found some on eBay for like 19-20 bucks for a size 10 brush. And another thing with acrylic brushes, I would recommend getting your brush pinched or learning how to pinch them yourself, because that helps a lot with the application of the acrylic. When the brush is pinched, it's flatter, so it applies the acrylic flatter. When the brush is more oval or rounded, it's kind of harder to like work with the acrylic or maneuver the acrylic around. Sorry, I'm talking with my hands a lot. But yeah, it's kind of harder to work with the acrylic when the brush is still in like its round or oval form. So I would recommend getting either a crimped brush or crimping it, learning how to crimp it yourself. So now the next thing that you will need is a nail drill. Now this isn't really a necessity, but it was for me. But you can go the hand filing way. That's a lot more tedious, but I would recommend getting a nail drill because it cuts down a lot of time compared to you actually hand filing everything that you do. You'll need a nail drill to like remove the shine off of your client's natural nails. Also to smooth out the acrylic once it's applied, debulk the acrylic if it's too thick, even it out, so on and so forth. Like I personally feel like an e-file is needed, which e-file / nail drill, same thing. I feel like it's needed. Now you don't have to get a super expensive one when you first are starting out. I think the first one that I got was on Amazon for like $40, but that one really started giving out on me after a couple of months, and then I just decided to get the Melody Susie Scarlet drill, which I heard a lot about, and I ended up purchasing it on Amazon, and it was around $65-70. But like a week or two ago, I saw it on sale on Amazon for like $50. So I maybe should have made this video like a couple weeks ago. But yeah, that's a really, really good drill, and it's beginner friendly, and it's still within the affordable price range. Like I said, it's like $65-70 for a nail drill, and the one that I want is like somewhere between $350 and $400. The like professional drill that I want, the Mani Cooper drill, it's like $350, $400, but I'm gonna work up to that. But for right now, my Melody Susie Scarlet drill is really, really good. I really like it. It works way better than the first drill that I got, which I'm gonna link both of them down in the description box. And yeah, now to go along with your nail drill, you are gonna need drill bits. I do not like drill bits that come with the drills. They're always really cheaply made and don't really work for you. I had to learn the hard way. When I first started doing nails, like I said, I was just kind of going the cheaper route. So I was buying like sets of drill bits, like the really cute, colorful ones off of Amazon. Those did not work for me at all. I was like, oh my gosh, when I was trying to take off gel polish, like it was taking me forever. Had to learn the hard way that I had to buy my own drill bits, and also learn before I purchased what the drill bits were for, like what each drill bit is used for. So yeah, the brand drill bits that I used are by Pana, which is the same brand as the acrylic brush that I recommend for y'all. And those drill bits are really affordable. I think they run from like $6.99 to like $15 for a drill bit, which is really good because drill bits can get kind of expensive too. So yeah, and they're also really, really good. They're really good and really affordable. So yeah. And I have like my set drill bits that I use. I've bought in, is that a word? No, I don't think that's a word. I've bought like multiple drill bits, but I have like my set ones that I use on every single set. And I've had these for the past couple of months, and they still haven't gone like completely dull on me. But I just recently ordered like new ones because it's kind of time for me to get new ones. I've had those for at least like 5 months or so. And yeah, but anyways, I will link the drill bits that I recommend y'all to get down below in the description, so y'all can check out the Pana drill bits on Amazon. Another thing that you're gonna need for your drill is sanding bands. Now your drill should come with the mandrel bit, which is the basic bit that comes with it. I'm gonna show y'all. So this is the mandrel bit, and basically all you do is just put a sanding band on here. Now when it comes to the grits of the sanding bands, the higher the number, the finer the grit is. So if you get like a 180 or a 240 grit sanding band, that's gonna be more smooth, which is what you want to use on your client's natural nails, because you don't want to use anything too coarse. It can either burn the client or like make their nail beds really soft and thin, and it'll hurt and it'll be really sensitive, which you don't want. So I recommend getting either a 180 or 240 grit sanding bands for when you are removing the shine off your client's natural nails. So And I also only use sanding bands for that one reason. I don't use them on my acrylic nails at all. I only use them to remove the shine off the nail. So the next thing that you are gonna need is nail prep and primer. Now, nail prep is optional, but you can get them sometimes together depending on what brand you get them from or what brand you purchased it from. Primer basically just helps the acrylic bond to your nail, and prep is normally a dehydrator, which just dries out the nails so that it'll be easier to adhere the acrylic to the nail. Now, you really don't have to buy a primer. You do have to buy a primer. You really don't have to buy a dehydrator. You really can just use acetone or alcohol, just anything that dries out the natural nail. You don't have to spend the money on getting a dehydrator. I actually just refilled my dehydrator bottles that I ran out of with a mixture of acetone and alcohol, and that's what I'm going to be using as my dehydrator now. So yeah, but primers that I do recommend are, okay, so the dehydrator that I would recommend if you do want to actually get one is this one, which is the Mia Secret Nail Prep. Like I said, it basically just dries out the nail, so it'll be easier for you to adhere acrylic to the natural nail. And then this is the primer. This is the Mia Secret Extra Bond Primer. And you don't need the dehydrator, but you do need this. Like, you cannot do acrylic nails without a primer. So this is one that I recommend, and it's really affordable. You can get these two in a set together on Amazon for like between $13 and $15, which is not bad at all. And they'll last you a long time because a little goes a long way. You do not need a lot of dehydrator or a lot of primer in order to get the best results. So these are two products that you definitely need. Okay, so the next things that you're gonna need are nail glue and nail tips, obviously, because you need tips in order to do acrylic nails. Now, the nail glue that I like to use is the KDS nail glue. This is how it looks. You can get a big pack of these off of Amazon for crazy cheap. I think I got like a 10 pack for like $5 off of Amazon. And you only need a little bit of nail glue. You don't need a lot of nail glue when you're gluing the tips down. So one little tube will last you for a minute. And then the tips that I like to use are either the EC basket tips, which are, I think, like between $11 and $13, somewhere around there on Amazon. And then also the BT Art Box tips, which these right here are pre-shaped tips. I'm gonna show y'all one so y'all can see what I mean by pre-shaped. But this is how it looks. I'm not sure if y'all can tell, but it's already kind of narrow. So if you wanted to do like a coffin shape or like a stiletto shape, you wouldn't have to do much shaping to the nails because they're already shaped. So I like to use these because they cut down a lot of time with your sets too, because you don't have to do a lot of shaping. Now the EC basket tips, I do like to use these for regular square nails or tapered square nails. I like the fact that they keep the square look from the bottom of the nail all the way to the free edge, because a lot of regular square nail tips kind of get narrow towards the top, and sometimes my clients don't want to cut the nail tips down. And once I start filing, if it's already kind of narrow at the free edge, it's gonna make it more coffin-like and not necessarily square or tapered square. So that's why I like the EC basket tips, and I feel like they're a little bit longer than any other like square tip I've tried. So yeah. Okay, so next what you're gonna need to do nails are nail files. Now I personally like to use 80 grit nail files. If you're just starting, I would recommend getting either 180 grit nail files or 100 grit nail files. The only reason why I say that is because the smaller the number, the more coarse the file is. And if you're not very familiar with actually using a hand file or a nail file, you have a possibility of cutting your client, which you don't want to do. Now, obviously, if you do want to get a more coarse nail file, you will have to learn how to do it. But these are the nail files that I like to get. They look like this. And I purchased these off of Amazon. You use one one nail file per client. Sometimes you can get away with 2, but yeah, really 1 nail file per client. So yeah, these are the nail files that I use, and they're by the brand called Carlash, I think. I will link them down below as well, so y'all have the direct link to these if you want to get 88 grit files. But like I said, if you're a beginner, I would recommend either using a 100 180 grit or a 100 100 grit, because the bigger the number, the less coarse or the more fine the grit is, or the file is. So yeah. Okay, next up are buffers. Now you are gonna need buffers to buff out the nails once you're actually finished applying the acrylic. So this one right here, I'm not sure what grit this buffer is, but it's probably like a 80-100 grit. And the reason why I say that is because it's really coarse, and I don't like that. Like on this side, it's really, really coarse, and then on this side, it's a little bit more fine. So I'm thinking this is an 80, and then this is the 100 grit. And then this green file that I have right here, which these are mine that I use on myself. So yeah, but anyway, these are 100 180 grit files, and I mean buffers. And I like these because they don't like scrape up the nail or scratch up the nail. They just smooth it out, basically buff the nail out. You do need these because, like I said, you'll have to buff out or smooth out the nail before you begin to apply a top coat if you're using only a colored acrylic, or if you're using gel polish, you have to buff the nails out before you apply the polish. So definitely recommend that you get some nail buffers, because these are going to be needed in order to start doing nails. Now, for you to start on your practice hand or your practice finger, you don't necessarily need a nail buffer, but I would still recommend getting them, only to get in the habit of having to use them when you do start to actually take clients. So the next thing that you will need is a UV/LED lamp. I would recommend a lamp that cures both UV and LED. The lamp that I have is the Melody Susie nail lamp. I think it was around $40-something on Amazon. There are cheaper ones, but I feel like the ones that are a little bit cheaper, it takes them longer to actually cure the nail polish or cure the top coat. So that's why I would recommend investing a little bit more money to get one that's maybe like $40-50 instead of one that's like just $20, because you don't want to have to have your client keep having to put their hand under the nail lamp for them to still not cure. Like with my last lamp, I had that problem, especially with the thumbs. They would never cure, and they would kind of like wrinkle up, and I was trying to figure out what exactly I was doing wrong. Like I remember one of my first clients, I painted her nails and all of the rest of them were dry except for like 2, and whenever she would put them back in the lamp, they would like wrinkle up. So I would literally have to take the polish off of that finger and do it all over again. And I had to do that like maybe 2 or 3 times, because it was not curing. Like, I don't know, maybe it was the wattage of my lamp, or either I applied the gel polish too thick. I don't know what it was, but all I know was that shit was not curing, okay? And it was aggravating me. That was the worst thing ever. So I finally decided to invest a little bit more money in getting a better lamp. And the one that I have now, my Melody Susie, is way better. So yeah, definitely invest in a UV/LED lamp. You don't need this when you're very first starting, unless you want to only use gel polish. I personally do not use regular polish, which back there I do have regular polish, because I normally get the duos of either the D&D nail polishes or the iGel Beauty nail polishes, which is what I have back there. So it comes with the gel formula as well as the regular nail polish formula. But I have those options because, one, like I said, they came together, and then for 2, I'm about to start offering pedicure services, and not everybody wants gel polish on their toes. So yeah, but I do not do regular polish on nails. I don't offer that service at all. Like, you can only get gel polish on your nails. So, and then the last thing that I would recommend if you are just starting out with doing nails is buying nail polish. Like I said, if you decide to use regular polish, that's your personal preference. I just don't like using regular nail polish, especially on nails, because when you are doing somebody's nails, they're all like 9 times out of 10 they moving around, they trying to type on their phone, trying to dig in their purse to get their money, just a whole lot of stuff, and they end up messing up the nails. And I just don't have time to keep having to repeat polishing the same hand over and over. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. So I much rather work with only gel polish, because once it's dry, and you don't have to worry about it messing up or anything like that. Now, the brands that I have are D&D and iGel Beauty. Like I stated before, D&D is pretty affordable, and I feel like they're really good quality. Like, I know some people don't really like D&D. They say they're kind of thick, but as long as you know how to actually work with them and apply thin, even coats, you won't have any problems with it at all. Now, when I first started using gel polish, I would always wonder, like, well, why am I losing my shape after I apply my polish? You have to learn how to apply gel polish. Practice makes perfect, y'all. You have to practice, because once again, if you don't know how to polish nails, it's something you're gonna have to work on. You're just not gonna pick up on it. You have to learn like a technique that works for you to get a nice even coat so that it doesn't look splotchy or it doesn't look uneven on the nails, because you don't want that at all. And normally with my D&D gel polishes, one coat will pass, but I always do two just to be safe, and always make sure to seal the free edge of the nail as well, so that it won't chip off or it won't fade off. So yeah, that is the brand. I actually recommend iGel Beauty and D&D for gel nail polishes if y'all have been thinking about purchasing some gel nail polish, and I will link the websites down below. Like I'm telling y'all, everything that I talked about in this video will be in the description box for y'all to go check out yourselves. And yeah, so that is pretty much it for this video. If y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to comment down below. And also make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel and turn on your post notifications so that you'll be notified whenever your girl posts a new video, because I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be lit on my channel with the tutorials, the one-on-one, you know what I'm saying, like when I'm actually talking to y'all and not just behind the camera, but I'm in front of the camera. So if y'all want to see more videos with me just talking face to face with y'all, or like being actually in front of the camera, let me know. Give me video suggestions, more than just tutorials, if y'all want to see more than that. And yeah, like I said, don't forget to thumbs this video up and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to y'all later. Thank y'all so much for watching. Bye, y'all.